All right, well, the Clemson Tigers visited the White House to celebrate their national championship win over Alabama. And since much of the White House resident staff has been furloughed, the president personally paid for each meal, which consisted of fast food, everybody. There it is.
Wow.
You got some McDonald's, you got some Wendy's, you got some Burger King, you've got it all. The cost of the meal wasn't released, but it's estimated to be around $3,000. So it definitely received mixed signals. Some are saying it's disrespectful. Do you guys think this is a fun, good look, or do you think this is a bad look?
Why is there a buffet of fast food? Like, nothing against fast food, but if you're going to the White House, you think it's going to be this extravagant, opulent meal.
Yes.
And you're served with something that you could get from a drive-through in a rush on a Tuesday afternoon when you're going home. Like,
yeah.
why is it that?
Yeah,
Makes no sense.
I think disrespectful is a bit of a strong word. I don't know if anyone's trying to politicize this or not. However, I would be disappointed going to the White House because I'm expecting lobster or duck confit or something like that. And clearly that's not what they got.
Yeah, not an elevated meal at all.
Yeah, well, the president said it was a very American meal, right? Well, French fries, I don't think that's an American thing. So really confusing right there. I think it was something some of the college athletes enjoyed. I think, you know, if I won a national championship, it's my first experience in the White House, and you're getting this great honor, you'd want something that is different than something you can get at the dorm when you just walk across the street to a fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like that's kind of trivial, but the fact of why it happened is an even bigger issue because the government is shut down. I think that's what the real problem is.
Model Nina Agdal shared a selfie from a date night last night with fellow model and actor Jack Brinkley Cook. It was on Instagram, and a follower came out and asked, be honest, if he were broke, you wouldn't be with him. And her reply was very flatly, probably not. So is honesty the best policy here, or is she being incredibly shallow?
Look, she's putting it out there. I think every couple, they have an arrangement. Is this good? Is this a good look? No, but at least she's being honest about it. And if he's being honest about it too, he probably wouldn't date her if it weren't for some other reasons too. Maybe her attractiveness or something like that. Broke, I feel like, is something that you do need to look at. You need to say, like, do you just have a job where you're working for a children's foundation and you just can't get that high of a salary? Or do you make really bad financial decisions and are you going into debt and making, like, impulsive purchases? So for us regular people, I feel like that's something that you would need to look at, but they're entitled to do whatever they want. And clearly they have their own arrangement.
You are so open-minded, Carly. So I do agree with what you're saying. I don't think she should be chastised for this just because I think nobody wants a broke person. Like, let's keep it real. Nobody wants that. I think that it was silly to answer a random comment from somebody on social media. Like who?
Well, that's why I think it was, I don't know how serious she was trying to be. I almost wonder if, you know, sometimes when I get just ridiculous hatred on Twitter, I just respond back with something that fuels what they're trying to get at. And I almost wonder if this was a dismissive response. Like, yeah, you're probably right. Now keep it moving and stop bothering me on my timeline kind of deal.
I agree with you. I don't think she thought too much about it, and I don't think he is thinking that much about it either.
Yeah. All right, well, actress Margot Robbie from the movie Mary, Queen of Scots, and will star in the new Barbie action is clapping back. She's shutting down people's questions, wondering when she'll have a baby since she's been married 2 years to a husband, Tom Ackerley. So her response was, how dare some old guy dictate what I can and can't do when it comes to motherhood or my own body? Good for Margot on this one, right?
Oh, for sure. So I don't really think that that's an offensive question for me personally, but I think it can be depending on a woman and her journey and her body and what's going on in her life. It is private. It really is.
Yeah, I get asked this from time to time, and it is annoying to be asked this. But I do think it usually comes from a good place. I think people in general are just curious. Like my sister who's married said the second that she got married, people started saying, well, when are you having a baby? Because usually it's like marriage, baby, another baby. So once you have your first baby, people ask, when are you having your second baby? And I think it's just genuinely, they're excited for you. They're curious about you. But you do have to be careful about asking those questions because you don't know if someone wants to have a baby really bad and they're struggling with fertility or you just don't really know. So I think like coming from like a loving place is really good. Don't ever give a bad reaction to what someone says because everyone is entitled to their own choices. And keep in mind, you don't know what they're going through.
Yeah. Do you feel like guys get this question, Jordan?
I think guys get the question more not about when they're going to have kids, but when they're going to get married. When are you going to settle down? When are you going to stop living that bachelor life? And for me, it was never anything that made me feel like I got to do something different. I got to expedite this process. So this needs to serve as a catalyst to get me there so people are no longer asking me these questions. I'm a firm believer of live your life as you want to live it. It's your life. You know, I don't see you guys sitting here telling people in your life how to live their life. So if you're not doing that, don't let it impact you in your own right, and especially with something as sensitive of a topic as do you want to create another life or not? I mean, that's for you to decide.
It's like
some
the
point.
biggest decision you'll ever make, I think.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything that has a longer impact than that.
Yeah.
I think you're a different person forever.
Yeah.
Forever afterwards.
Yeah.
For the better.
It's a long commitment.